Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the official launch of the Senegalese Network for Success and the unveiling of our digital ecosystem, JokkoHub. Today marks an important milestone, a moment when Senegalese professionals, entrepreneurs, students, organizations, and community leaders come together with one shared purpose: to build a global platform for connection, opportunity, and collective progress. We are not here to just celebrate a launch, but to celebrate a movement, one that transcends borders and generations. We want to thank you for being part of this historic moment. At the heart of SNS is a team of dedicated individuals who have stepped forward to guide the vision. Our steering committee represents a diverse range of expertise. They're in strategy, technology, finance, education, youth development, cultural exchange, and more. They embody the leadership required to build a platform worthy of our global community. Please join me in recognizing the members of the SNS Steering Committee. First, we'd like to welcome Adam Hassan, who's a financial analyst, and he lives right here in New York.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adama. I studied civil engineering a couple of years ago with my friend here, Yusufa. I moved to do finance because I was very interested in community building. So pretty much I studied financial planning. I work in retirement, college saving, to just bring the community together. So welcome you guys, and I hope you have a good time here. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we would like to welcome Iban.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How we doing? That was kind of weak. How we doing today? There you go. My name is Iba. Obviously, I was born and raised in Senegal, and I came to America as a student athlete. Now I proudly serve as a police officer and a business owner. I joined the force a few years ago, and pretty exciting about it. It's pretty good. But I joined SNS because, it aligns with my goals, to just support the community, guide the community, and be able to uplift the community. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think, this is going to be a life-changing mission. So we are very, excited to be here. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Iban. And next, Heidi Njai, who will be joining us. She lives in Connecticut, and she was senior finance director.
Hi, everybody. I'm Heidi Njai. I was born in Senegal. I was raised between France and Senegal, and I came here for my MBA and never left. So I've done a lot in finance. I started in portfolio management, then financial control, and I've been doing FP&A for the last 7 years. So I'm a senior financial manager for Dell Technology. I joined SNS to help mentor the younger generation and make sure they have all the tools and the knowledge to be successful.
Sharif, who's a project manager and a former athlete.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So my name is Sharifa. So I have been living in the United States over a decade. I come as a basketball player. I have my friend Iba in Europe. We basically come here for a better opportunity. Play basketball, high school, went to college, play in college also. And after we graduated, we had a lot of hardship was finding exactly what to do next. And basically, the new problem we have how and who gonna help us see exactly what we're gonna do next. So we needed mentors. Need some people like, Garam Musa and anyone else to kind of guide us. So basically that's the reason why I joined, SNS. And next to any platform, I'm very happy, to find new connect because they guiding us. We're learning so much from them. And then we want to give back to the community, And I have myself a charity back home in Senegal where I give back to people. But this opportunity is like somewhere that I can come in and learn from, them. And also try to give back to my Senegalese. So that's me.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. Now, what Sheriff just mentioned is at the heart of the vision of this organization. So really appreciate you sharing those words, Sheriff. Next, we'll have Baby Sam, who is a study student.
Hey, my name is Baby Sam. Grew up in Senegal. Benupula, my Dagana, Senegal, So I joined this group because Sheriff is the one that invited me. I already was active with the SADMV, Senegalese Association of the DMV, and the last 3 years I've been offering like training and all that, training for people in cybersecurity so they can join the field. So it just aligned perfectly with what I was trying to do. So I'm so grateful to be here, be part of this movement. And I think the country needs it, Africa needs it, and we can make it bigger and help other people, bring them up so that we can change lives. All right? Thank you.
Next, we'd like to welcome Adam Afan.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Adama. Born and raised in Senegal. I did my undergrad in finance here at Baruch College. After that, I worked a little bit here in the city in finance again, and then now I moved to productivity and doing anti-money laundering operation there. I joined SNS mainly because of the community building that we're gonna have coming up. So far, we've had events for international students, community building, building back and giving back to our people in Senegal, and mainly the mentorship programs that we will have coming up in the near future. So looking forward to everybody joining and everybody bringing their 2 cents and 3 cents to it as well. So don't hesitate to do that. So thank you so much everyone and welcome.
Now, this young lady does not want to come on stage. But I must say, this is someone we're really proud of, because not only is she young, but she really embodies the type of excellence we want the Senegalese people to be about. So Adja Cissé is a manufacturing engineer at Boeing. She graduated from Polytech Orléans. She's working on the 787 Dreamliner, so basically just working on the electrical systems. So something we should all be able to take inspiration from, and this is the type of excellence we want the Senegalese Network for Success to be able to highlight so that it serves as an example. So Adja, although you don't want to speak in front of our family, we thank you for being here. We have some members that were not able to make it here today, but they're joining us online. The first one is Fatimata Jim, and Fatimata, are you able to give us a few words?
Absolutely. Can y'all hear me well?
Yes. We can.
And can I turn on my video or it's fine?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. That's sort of fine. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Fatima Kagin. I've been in the U.S. several years ago. I'm Senegal, born and raised, former student athlete. I'm working in the finance department, and I love what I do. The reason why I joined this community is definitely the sense of community, networking, but also growth. So I invite everyone that is on the stage right now who has those questions, just go for it, because you know that we're gonna do whatever we can to help you guys in terms of guidance, in terms of networking and support in any kind of field, because there are so many professionals that are ready to help. So yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fatimata. Just like I said about Adja earlier, so Fatimata has sort of a unique experience. She was a former Division I basketball player, but she's been able to combine that sports experience with school, and she is now a financial controller. It just gives an idea that if work hard, so she's also a mother, she's raising a family, so we're really, really proud to have that perspective from someone like Fatima in this network. Next we have Yvonne. I'm not sure if Yvonne is online with us. She may not be available this morning, but Yvonne is a fraud investigator and a financial services professional. The interesting thing about Yvonne is that she's both from Senegal and from the Bahamas. So I don't think any of us have met someone with that unique background, but it is that background that actually helps her have some unique perspectives, and she has brought that to the organization. She's been managing our marketing outreach, and she has done just a wonderful job doing that. So although she's not able to be with us this morning, I just want to offer the gratitude for our organization. Next, we have Umar Ba. He's actually joining us from London. So Umar, really happy to have you online. Umar is actually our Junior Executive Director for the Senegalese Network for Success. He's very young, but we made the choice to have youth leadership at these key positions because this vision and this organization is all for that next generation. So Umar, happy to have you on board, and let's hear a few words from you.
Thanks, Musa. So I'm Umar, I'm an investment professional here based in London. I was also born in Senegal, but I moved to the UK at a quite young age. I currently work in portfolio management and private capital, so everything from private equity, debt, infrastructure, current investments. And so I joined the SNS because I think too often we see communities across different regions and countries and so operating in a very fragmented way, so talent and capital and ideas both existing in silos rather than being connected. And this was really important to kind of bridge that gap and bring everyone together. I think you've all heard the sentence that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone, and if you want to go far, then go together. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you so much. Umar is in London, but I'd like to just mention that our members are all over the world. We actually have members that are in the Middle East. We have members that have joined our meetings from China. We have a chapter that is being started in Senegal. So this is truly a global network that is open to everyone, wherever they may be. Please join me with loud applause for everyone who's been coming in and day out, making this effort and making this day possible. You know, every movement begins with a vision. And long before this event was even planned, before JokkoHub existed even as a concept, there were individuals who believed deeply in the power of unity. People who understood that the Senegalese diaspora holds extraordinary potential when we work together. One of those individuals is someone whose professional journey reflects both national service and global leadership. Our next speaker, Wali, is a senior project manager and currently serves as the program structuration lead at the Bureau Opérationnel de Coordination et de Suivi des Projets et Programmes, so BOX, which is under the Prime Minister's office in Senegal. And there he leads and helps drive administrative reform, project governance, and large-scale digital transformation initiatives for the Senegalese government. Before this, he led major reform efforts as a project manager at BOSS Senegal Emergent, and he has also worked in New York as a financial services professional at New York Life Securities, advising clients on financial planning and investment strategies. Wali brings over a decade of experience, and it spans project management, organizational transformation, public administration, compliance, data analytics, and strategic leadership. He holds a Master of Public Administration from the Metropolitan College of New York, a Master's in Human Rights and Humanitarian Policy, and Lean Six Sigma Green and Yellow Belts. And all of that reflects his commitment to excellence, service, and impact. But beyond his professional accomplishments, Wali is the founder of the Senegalese Network for Success, a global initiative built on the belief that Senegalese people everywhere deserve a platform that connects them, empowers them, and celebrates their success. His vision, rooted in unity, in mentorship, and collective progress, is the foundation everything we are launching today here. It is my honor to welcome the founder of SNS, Wali Mohammed Bay, to share our mission and our moment.
Assalamu alaikum. Musa, I didn't know I was that big.
Yes, you are.
Musa, est-ce que juumuloo? dama ragal genn wàll li nga wax ni yëpp du man de. Assalamu alaikum, Wali Mohammed Bay. It's a privilege for me to be here speaking about this movement we created. We came a long way. A year ago, we were starting this, calling people and texting people so they can share the same vision we have. Musa is talking about me as a founder, but I don't think I am the founder. Basically, this movement was founded by people who had the same vision and wanted to have the same impact. I had a speech, mais malheureusement, because of the introduction, I forget most of it. So I'm just going to go freestyle. I want to tell a story. The story of a Senegalese young man who moved to the US. Struggled for 2 years, finding his way. Basically doing dead-end jobs, trying to bring food to the table. Working as a parking attendant, working, xam nga ndax yéen yaa ngi di fàttaliku ab boobu doon la permettre nga dem bale ak raxas kër jàmbur yi. Working those type of jobs. And he was lucky enough to speak with somebody who told him to go back to school, get a master's degree, and he was hired on the spot before even finishing a master's degree. And that changed his life, changed his family's life. The reflection is, should he know that from the beginning, he wouldn't struggle for 2 years. That story is my story, but it's also the story of a lot of Senegalese people who came in this country as youngsters, going to school, being student athletes, being people who move here after having 10 years of experience in Senegal, struggling the same struggle to understand the system and find their way. And the idea behind creating this came from that. How can we be resources to one another? How can we uplift one another? How can we build a community of people who are basically going to lend a hand to one another? The Senegalese Network for Success is for that. It's not a one-man organization. Basically, it's an organization for all of us, where every single one of us is going to have to do its his single part to have collectively what we need as a community. So the vision of the organization basically is to help Senegalese people, wherever they are, thrive professionally, personally, but also as a community. And today, as of today, we have about 500 plus members who are everywhere in the world. Like Musa said, we have people in the MENA area, Dubai, we have people in Senegal, we have people in the US, we also have people in Senegal. Right now, we are trying to build a chapter in Senegal where we're going to leverage what we have here and implement it in Senegal. That being said, I want to emphasize this thing. This is not one person or a group organization. It's the Senegalese Network for Success. We want every single Senegalese to be part of it, and we can, inshallah, together bring not only success to ourselves wherever we are, but bring success to our country. And that's the dream right here. This is not the end, this is just the beginning. And hopefully we're going to do great things together, inshallah. Thank you so much for being here. And we look forward to working with every single one of you, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wally. So everything we do ultimately needs to benefit our nation. And we are honored to have His Excellency Demba Camara, who is the Consul General of Senegal, with us. And sir, we would like, if you could, to share a few words with us.
Assalamu alaikum to you all. First of all, thank you so much for the warm welcome we received. My colleague, Mrs. Gay and Anna, I think you know Anna. Mrs. Gay just joined the consulate 1 month ago. When I heard Mr. Bay during our online meeting on November 29, explaining JokkoHub, I told to my colleague it is a good opportunity for me to join the launch today, because I deeply believe that if we want to have a strong diaspora, we need to have a good network. Because I just joined the consulate as a Consul General 4 months ago. But I was in New York 2 years. I was posting in Senegalese Mission again. Since I joined the consulate on August, every day I receive a letter, mail from young Senegalese. We want to get a first job or an internship. Even last week, a young lady with only a PhD struggled to get an internship in tech industry. It's why I deeply believe that the movement we built that is the right movement at the right time. Because if we want to be a good diaspora, as a Chinese diaspora, Turkish diaspora, we have to build network in order to help our people, our community. It's why, as a Consul General, I will support such initiative. It's why I'm here today with great pleasure and proud. I see our diverse diaspora, the background of the members. It's why if you was in our meeting last week, I say to my colleague, we need to sense our people in order to know exactly the potential we have in us. Because we have a good citizen, we help our country, but we need exactly to see the potential we have and try to link it to our country. This movement is built at the right time and aligned with our national strategy. And as a Consul General, I am committed to help you to wide open this movement. And I will tell you, every consular trip I will do in the US, I will encourage Senegalese people to join this movement. Because if this movement is strong, our diaspora will be strong. And we need that. Monday I will join our National Day for the diaspora in Senegal, December. I think we need to have such movement. And we need to see how our diverse, talented people can help our country. This is the right movement, and I'm very proud and happy to be here. And I congratulate the members, the founders, and very happy to be here. And don't hesitate. If you need the support from the consulate, I'm ready to be here. Because I deeply believe that it's such movement, such initiative needed in order to lift up our cause. Thank you so much for inviting me. I congratulate again the founders, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. You know, what you just mentioned really goes to the heart of what we're trying to achieve in this organization. We want to serve as the platform not just to connect professionally or to grow professionally, but we want to give government institutions back home, NGOs or organizations, the platform to reach the large number of Senegalese from the diaspora possible. And we look forward to working with you in making that a reality. So the consulate can actually create a page on JokkoHub and reach a great number of our Senegalese compatriots wherever they may be. So thank you, sir. As we continue, we turn to a topic that lies at the heart of the diaspora's economic impact. Well, it's economic leadership. Across the world, Senegalese professionals are shaping industries, they're driving investments, they're managing complex financial structures, and they're influencing strategic growth. The question before us today is, how do we channel this financial expertise into meaningful collective progress for our global community? Our next speaker, Cherno Fall, is a managing director in tax at BDO USA, and he brings over a decade of experience advising hedge funds, private equity clients, and asset management organizations. His work spans state and local tax strategies, fund structures, and financial compliance. And he holds CPA licenses in both New York and New Jersey. Before joining BDO, he spent 8 years at Ernst & Young in tax leadership roles and holds a Master in Taxation from Baruch College. Please join me in welcoming Cherno Fall to speak on how, as a diaspora, we can unlock the economic potential that we have access to. Welcome, Cherno.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I kind of prepare a speech too, but since everybody is speaking freestyle, I will try to do the same. But I don't want to read a speech and bore you to death. So, as Elijah mentioned, my name is Cherno. I am a CPA. So, I'm going to tell you two anecdotes. So, the first one is when I was 1 year old, my father left Senegal and came to the US. So, we were farmers, so we have large fields right outside of Kira. So I was a farmer, and most of our people, most of the time they were just, growing peanuts. We didn't have like a formal education. So one of the biggest change in my life was the fact that my father came here, and he invested a lot in my education, because in my village, most of the people did not. Thank you. In my village, most of the people did not have a formal education. So most of the people didn't have formal education. So I was lucky to be selected by my father to go to French school. And from there, I spent 20 years there in Senegal, and I came here after I finished high school. Then when I finished high school, I came to the US. And a lot of us, when we came to the US, we have to make a choice. Are we going to go back? Are we going to stay here? So we have a lot of decisions that we have to make. But the problem is, if you are undecided, you cannot move forward. Most of the time, you move back between, I want to go to Senegal, I want to stay here. So when I originally came, the first choice that I have to make was what I want to do. So what I wanted to do was pretty much to go back and build and help build the Senegal. But the issue is, when you graduate from school, you think that you are knowledgeable, but a lot of times, I didn't know anything. So I had a master's degree, I was a CPA, I passed the exam. But when I went to EY in 2012, we have these clients, they manage, I work in asset management, and asset management, we have a lot of clients So they manage money for pension funds, they manage money for high net worth individuals. So pretty much all of the wealthiest people in America, we manage their money. So I'm in the tax side, so we do a lot of their accounting, we do a lot of their tax. But one thing that I know is that when I was there, I was not really knowledgeable after you finished college. So the question that I said to myself, how can I go back to Senegal if I don't know anything? So I just decided to get a job and stay here and work. And after I worked for so many years, I realized that I like this place and I don't want to go back anymore. And the reason why I don't want to go is not that I go to Senegal all the time. Sometimes I go twice a year. But the question that you have to ask is that if you go back there, what impact are you going to have? If you go there, like when I graduated, I didn't know anything. So if I go there, I won't be able to help. So the decision that I made was to stay here, get some experience, and try to build capital. Then, if I have a lot of money and a lot of connection, you can probably create a fund and go to Senegal and try to help them. That would be more impactful. So that's what I was thinking about. Because I'm an accountant, so I'm going to give you some numbers. So last year, we as the diaspora in America, everywhere in the world, we sent $3 billion in Senegal. Like all of the money that we sent to SendWave and all of those WhatsApp requests that we receive every day, we sent $3 billion. Can someone tell me the budget of the Senegalese government? Exactly. So we pretty much sent about half of the Senegalese budget. So we, with the hospital, we help these people, entrepreneurs in Senegal. We send a lot of money. So, and also we are about the amount of money that we send is about 10% of the Senegalese economy, because the Senegalese GDP is about 30 billion. We are about 10% of it. So we contribute about 10% to the Senegalese economy. And the budget of Senegal, we probably send like half of it. So imagine if we didn't send that money. Now, if you look at it, there are a lot of generation of immigrants. So if you look at the Chinese, if you look at people from Ireland, if you look at people from India, what they do is that they come here, they build network, they raise capital, and they put all of that money back in their home country, and they end up becoming very wealthy. So what they do first is that make sure they are financially stable before they go back and invest. Because the problem is that if you come here and you say you want to help Senegal, and yourself, you are not able to make a meaningful impact. I know we send a lot of money because people have to eat, sometimes people they are sick. But the impact that we want to have, can have it is that we have to have a lot of power. And that power is money. I know we grew in a society where sometimes money is taboo, we don't want to talk about it, but money runs the world. If you're sick, you need money. If you want to eat, you need money. If you want to send kids to good school, you need money. If you want to live in a nice neighborhood, you need money. So anything that you need, you need money. So it's a good thing to talk about money, because I know in our family sometimes we don't want to talk about it because we grew up in families where money is always a problem. But I think we have to have some sort of financial education, because if you have financial education, it's going to help you grow. Because when I finished my bachelor, I was thinking about, as I told you, I was thinking about going back to Senegal, but I made an investment to get my master's degree that allowed me CPA, then go to, and it has transformed my life and has taken me to places that I wouldn't be if I didn't make that investment. It cost me a lot of money to get that education, but that education is going to be the thing that's going to transform our life. So we just go through certain ways that people build wealth in America. So if you look at the richest people in America, their wealth is concentrated in a few areas. So you might have like an entrepreneur like Bezos or Musk or Bill Gates and all of these people, but what they did was they just have an idea. But if you have an idea, what is the next step? So there are several ways that you can grow wealth. So let's say if you are working right now and you are professional, like where I work, so they give you option to invest in a 401k. You can open an IRA, you can start savings. So one thing that happened in our community, because we have to help a lot of people back home, we spend a lot of time not worrying about ourselves. And I think the most important person in our life should be ourselves first, because if you are well, everybody who's around us is going to do it. So, and the way you do that is you have to be financially independent in order to do that. A lot of people that I work with, by the time that I retired, they are just simple accountants. They bore you with a lot of numbers. Our life is not that exciting. I saw somebody who was an engineer, I think, you work at Boeing, so I don't have the brains for that. I think that's way smarter than being an accountant. An accountant is just reading the numbers, looking at the tax rules and applying that and giving advice and doing planning. It's not really, I think the engineers require a lot more brain power than we do. But a lot of the accountants that I work with, by the time that they retire, they will be millionaires. How do they do it? They graduate from college at 25, and every month they take a certain amount and just put it in the stock market. They take a certain amount, put it in their 401k. They take a certain amount, put it in their IRA, and just forget it. If someone texts you from Senegal, look at it, just put the money there. just leave it there. And by the time you retire, you're a millionaire. Because a lot of people, what they do is that they don't think about retirement, they just want to help, they want to help. But one thing we have to do is that we are here, we work hard. We don't know if we want to go back or not. Most of us want, to be honest, because if you look at the generation of immigrants that came to America, we say we're going to go back, but we never go back. Some people will go back, but a lot of us will stay here, or by the time we go back, we're already retired. So while we are here, we just have to make sure that we invest in ourselves. One thing you do is the stock market is there. You have the richest people in America, all of them, their money is in the stock market. You can look at the stock that you are interested in. If you don't know the stock that you are interested in, they have some indexes, which is they just take the entire market to create an index. And if you don't want to monitor it, you just put a certain amount and just forget about it. But I can guarantee by the time you are 50 and 60, you are investing in the American economy. So if the American economy grows, you're going to make money. Unless the US economy go to hell, then you lose your money. But for the most part, a lot of people, they invest in America. And the other thing that other people do, I don't know if anybody is super wealthy here. So the people that I work with, unfortunately, I don't have money, but they have a lot of money. So what they do is, let's say if private equity is just you buy a private company. Let's say if someone has a company that is doing very well, and let's say you have a restaurant, and you have a restaurant, you've been running it, and you need, let's say, $1 million to scale it, or open a new one, or open a franchise. What you do is that you create an entity, you pull a bunch of investors, everybody put $10,000, $20,000, and you pull out money, and you invest it. And the same strategy that you can use in a restaurant that you use for $1 billion company. What they do is that they have a bunch of investors, everybody has money, and they go to the bank, and they pull all of their resources, and they just invest. And they are able to have a lot of capital, they create a lot of network, and they are able to make change. Because if everybody is in their corner and just have their own ideas and we're not coming together, and that's why I love the mission of the organization is bringing people together. Other communities, they have a lot of network that they use. They have capital. They are able to have power in the US, in the government. So that's what they do in order to increase their power. And as the Senegalese community, we are extremely smart. We have people from, as this group shows, we have people from every field. So whatever we can do it. So the only thing we have to do is just make sure that we build the wealth. The people that are here just figure out a way to build the wealth, come together, and if we have a project, as they say in World of Warfare, we come and we dominate. And that's what we have to do. And I'm very thankful for Eli for inviting me today. If you have any questions, let me know, but thanks everybody.
Thank you so much for that. That is truly appreciated. So as we continue, we now turn to another driver that shapes every modern industry and unlocks opportunities across borders, and that is technology. Technology is what enables innovation at scale. It is what allows ideas to travel instantly across continents. And it is what gives our community, especially our youth and entrepreneurs, the tools to build, to create, and lead from anywhere in the world. Our next speaker is someone who has spent nearly a decade Amazon Web Services. He has helped organizations solve complex problems through cloud technologies, and he currently serves as a senior manager in specialist solutions architecture, where he leads teams that design and implement advanced cloud solutions for businesses across the Americas. Before this role, he held multiple leadership positions within AWS, and that includes roles in Acceleration Builder team and as America's SA leader for productivity applications, and he has previously served as a technology leader at JP Morgan Chase and Express Scripts. Please join me in welcoming Bamba Diouf, who will speak on technology as a catalyst for growth.
Thank you, Musa. Can you all hear me? Usually I'm very loud, so I thought I didn't need this. But thanks for having me here. Super happy to be here. And I'm going to bore you to death because I'm taking you back to 2009. Who here remembers what they were doing in 2009? You might not, but I sure do. In 2009, I was a CIO in a company that was present in Senegal and in France. And I was leading a team of people in both countries and running technology. And that is that year, I was silly enough to decide that I'm going to immigrate to the US. Well, that wasn't really my decision. That was my wife's decision, which turned out to be a good one. Don't tell your mom. My son is all right? It's a great decision. So it sounded a little bit crazy because it was in the middle of the economic downturn in 2009. People were losing their jobs by the thousands. People were struggling to pay their rent or mortgages. That's when I decided to come here. You call me crazy, but I had a plan. And my plan was simple. I would come here, do my paperwork for my residency, and then understand a little bit how the job market works, then go back, settle my affairs, and bring my family back. And in the meantime, maybe I'll get a job. That's the plan I had in mind. And crazy enough, I went along with that plan. In March 2009, I got on a plane and got to the US. And I got shocked. I got scared as I meet my friends who were smarter than me. We went to school together. They studied more than me. And they were all doing jobs they hated because it was not in their area of study because the economy was tough. And I'm sitting here saying, I love technology. I'm going to come here and I'm going to work in something different in technology. How am I going to solve that problem? So that fear took me to Dice.com. Who remembers Dice.com? I think it still exists. It's a job board. So I went there and say, I am going to apply for a job. But I needed a US phone number. And at some point I'm like, if I get a US phone number, how are they going to reach me if I go back to Senegal? It's not going to work. Then I discovered this box. I don't know who remembers that. That's called Vonage. Vonage Voice over IP. It's the box that allows you to get an American phone number, and all you need is internet. Anywhere you are in the world, you can take phone calls and then emit phone calls. So I got that phone number from New Jersey, Hackensack precisely, and then put it on my resume and put it out there. Then it was time to go back to Senegal. I went back to Senegal, plugged the phone, and the phone started ringing. Recruiters started calling me. There was a ton of crazy calls. I don't know if you all are in the job market. Hey, how are you, Bamba? Yes, what's your rate? I'm like, I don't even know what job you're calling me for. So, you know those kind of calls? But on all that chaos, there was one call that needed a Genesis developer. In my job, back in Senegal and France, I was eating Genesis for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's what I was specialized for. And that was my first job in the US. So why I'm telling you this story, because among all of that, there's the piece of technology that's called Vonage, Voice over IP. That was the catalyst for my immigration to the US. So I'm among the luckiest people on earth who were able to come to the US with a job in hand. And that was because of technology. Technology allowed me to shorten that time. And I'm not even moving these slides. I don't know. These are not my slides. Where am I going? Are these mine? No, they're not. I keep going. All right, let's get back. I think you did not put my slides on, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep talking. So It allows me to shorten that 5,000 miles distance to feel like I was here in New Jersey when I was doing those phone interviews with my broken English at the time. Now let me fast forward to 2017. At that time, I was working at JP Morgan Chase, and I was leading a global team of software developers that were focused on customer experience technology. You know, that technology that allows you, when you call your bank, you can talk to your banker or you can talk to an agent and all of that. My team was building that in the US and in India. And we just had come up with a new way of doing customer experience that would serve our customers better. Then I was the technology team I was supposed to implement. And what I usually do is I want to learn the technology a lot before I hand it over to my team to go implement. So one night I'm sitting trying to test some of the use cases that we came up with. And I realized people who work in big banks, they know this. You're going to need to get an approval, to get a server, to get a phone number, and all of that is awesome. And then, you know, when you have all of that, it takes you at least 3 months or 6 months before you test use case. And I was sitting here, I'm like, with all this fuss about the cloud, there must be an easy way to do this than just sitting here and wait for 3 months for procurement before you test anything. So I went to Google and I discovered this thing called Amazon Connect. And they claimed that in 5 minutes, you can implement all of your contact center technology and take a first phone call. And I was sitting there laughing. I'm like, liars, that is not true. But I wanted to try it, so I went ahead and pulled it up. And I kid you not, that night, I was able to implement my first use case that was going to take me 6 months to implement. And I was shocked. I'm like, if I am going to grow technologically, if I'm going to help customers, I need to be working for this company and on this product. But how am I going to do that? I knew nobody, no one. I didn't even know about Amazon Connect. The product was launched in March and I was doing this in July. So 4 months in between. There were not a lot of people that we knew that would say Amazon Connect. So I'm like, let me go on LinkedIn and try to find someone. So I went in and did my search and ran into a gentleman with a weird name, but he felt like he was up there. I'm like, okay, now I need to purchase LinkedIn Premium that I didn't want to purchase. So I bought it. I think it was $79 at that time or something, or $49. And then I wrote this email. I had 3 of them. I burned one email and I typed this long message telling them how awesome I was in all of the technologies that they were doing. That if they did not hire me, they would be missing out on the best person on earth. And then I submitted that message. 2 days later, I got a phone call from a recruiter telling me that that person was actually the VP of the product. And they wanted to see if I'm interested in any of the jobs there. That's how I got into Amazon. You see the pattern here. Technology again. Getting me to go to the next level of my professional career. LinkedIn was able to get me in front of someone that seemed so impossible. But that piece of technology did the trick for me. And I believe creating these connections, that's what JokkoHub is trying to do here. Making sure that all of us can find those opportunities. You know, you'll tell me, well, you got your job from LinkedIn. Why can't we just go do that? And I'll tell you why. I think Sherifa will tell you, he pinged me a few times, right, on LinkedIn. We talk a couple of times, then 6 months go by, we talk again, and we don't get anything done because everybody's busy. And it doesn't feel like the community where we can talk as people. So LinkedIn is great, but now there's a lot of spams and people do not respond to you. So there is a need of structure so that people can actually feel like this is part of the community. Anything I do here is going to trickle down and come back to our community, and that's where something like JokkoHub really can make the difference. Now, if you still don't believe me, let me tell you this. Before this job that I have right now, where I'm building product on applied AI, I used to hire a lot of freshmen, people who are tenured and all of that. And I would sit there and say, I really am sick and tired of being the only African, the only black, the only Senegalese in a room full of 300 people. I need more people that look like me. So how do I take this opportunity and put it in front of somebody from Jollof? So what do? I try to go to LinkedIn. But when I go to LinkedIn, can I put that I am looking for a Senegalese person. I have to be fair to my company, and being fair to my company is find the right talent who is ready, who wants to go get the job, and who is willing to do what is required so that they keep the door open for people that look like us, right? But I really need those jobs to be held by Senegalese people. So sometimes I will post on some of the communities and try to look for somebody, but that's the most generic one. And that post, thousands of people see it. So you get hundreds of resumes, and how do you find that Senegalese young talent like us all? They might apply, but you might not see it because the recruiter filtering happens before you get all of the resumes that you talk to. So it really becomes very difficult to find. And that, I strongly believe, based on the mission of JokkoHub, that's what JokkoHub can for this organization. Imagine if we all get into it, and then I can come there and say, I am looking for XYZ in a knitted community like this, and then I can help people discover the job quickly. I can coach the people to understand how to get that actual job, how to make sure that the profile that I hire is someone that is ready to succeed. And then all of a sudden, I can solve two of my problems, being fair to my company and supporting my community. Now I'm just talking about the recruiter in me, right? So what's in it for you? If you have a network like JokkoHub, now you can go find curated jobs that are posted by members of the community that are leaders in the organization. You'll have talented people and people who have spent decades in this field that can coach you, that can help you. You can prep with your interviews amongst you, and it becomes exponential. So the first person that you hire, in 2 years, they can be a mentor for someone else. In 3 years, they might be in a position where they hire, and they come back to the network and hire more. So 1 becomes 10, becomes 100, and next thing you know it, we are a powerful community. So that's why I'll leave it at this, the call to action. Number 1, lean in. And when I say lean in, it is don't just be a member, that is putting themselves out there. Meaning you need to put your authentic profile, make sure that people know what you're capable of, what you can do, that if I need a talent, I can go find it. If someone needs a mentor, they can go and find it, right? And I was talking to Musa, and we were like, we don't share Senegalese people, our knowledge out there. We have so many people that know so many stuff. We don't share it. I don't think that's because we're bad people. We're excellent people, but we just don't have the structure that allows us to share. So when you come to this, be generous also. Now that there is a network, now that there is a community that puts us all together, make sure that you share what you know, right? And now, if you're coming in also to try to get something for you, make sure you're specific about what you get. When people recommend people from the diaspora, from Africa, when I ask you, how can I help you? And they're like, anything I can get is fine. I'm almost done. I'm like, I can't help this person. Because if they don't know what they want, then how am I going to help them? I'm just going to take any job and tell them, hey, you've done accounting, like it's like I'm taking my son who's done accounting and trying to fit into a software developer job, because that's what I have. So be specific about what you want. Come in and say, I've done this, I want X, Y, Z. That's what I want to do. Right? And last but not least, let's think long term. So we're doing all of this. Maybe it might not serve us directly, but it's going to trickle down to a broader community. So we're building really for tomorrow. And that's all I got for you. I hope I didn't bore you to death. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Bamba. Those insights perfectly frame the next part of our program. So Wally talked about the mission. We have explored the economic opportunity with Chemo, and has shown us how technology can elevate our community. It is now time to reveal how all of these come together. JokkoHub is more than a platform. It is a digital ecosystem built for Senegalese people worldwide. A platform that is designed to unite our talent, support our growth.
I'm going to call for a pause right now, because Musa, you can't put together, and I want everybody here to give a round of applause to Musa. Behind the whole event. He's been working tirelessly since 3 months to put together this thing. And just as an introduction, I don't have the facts right, but I can tell you Musa is a U.S. veteran. He worked for the Department of Veterans Affairs, managing programs. He was in the U.S. Army and went to rounds in Iraq, and basically is right now of the organization, if we can call it that way. He is running the organization like nobody else can do it. Be meeting every Saturday. He's the first one in and the last one out. He is doing basically everything that we're doing with heart and abnegation. So I want, again, everybody to give Moussa a round of applause. He is, comme on dit en français, la cheville ouvrière of this organization. So thank you, Moussa, for everything you do. Round of applause again.
So I was going to try to introduce myself, but Wally did such a good job for me. I just add, so I've actually lived in the US for the past 30 years. So I'm actually one of the oldest members of this organization. So like Wally said, I am a US Army veteran. So I spent 8 years on active duty, and that includes a couple of deployments. And then after my 8 years on active duty, I worked for the Department of Defense for 12 years. So the Army and Defense is my forte. It's not exactly my choice. I was just like Bamba was talking about earlier, just seizing an opportunity for growth. And it just happened that the Army back then was the best choice I could have made based on my circumstances. Probably the best decision I've made. Now, it came with some setbacks, because when you dedicate yourself to service, especially in the military, it can take a toll on your personal life. And it has. But it has also provided some opportunities for me. So if I work for the government today, it is because of that veterans preference that we get as veterans. So anytime young Senegalese is seeking advice from me, I always make sure that the military is considered as an option. I'm very happy to see that in recent years, this is an option a lot of us have actually selected, because it's a great option. It's not a perfect option, but I don't think in life there is anything that is. So after working for the Department of Defense, I transferred to the Department of Veterans Affairs. And there, my work is essentially on budget formulation and execution. Kind of a boring job, right? Because what we do is we write what we call the budget chapter for compensation service. We make sure it gets to Congress and then in the presidential budget. So we have a lot of back and forth with the Congressional Budget Office and the administration in general. So we have to provide a lot of justifications, a lot of requirements. But that's my life. But my real passion is on building a community. So the reason why I'm just so passionate about what we do here, I mean, there are many reasons, but I'll just cite a couple of them. I like to tell the story that several months ago, I went to a graduation. It was at Fort Hays State University in Kansas. What's special about that university is that most of the international students, they're from Senegal. They have a really large community. And my niece and my nephew, they were graduating from that college. But they had no idea what was coming next. They had no guidance. They had no future. They had no opportunity for internship. They were just looking for that same guidance me as a young man was looking for all those years ago when I first came to the US. And my passion for being part of this organization stems from something like that. We have to be able to provide those opportunities, to provide that mentorship, and to be able to unite that global capital we have, whether it's economic, like Chairman mentioned, whether it's leveraging technology to be sort of an equalizer, so we are at the same level as everybody else. And this may seem a little bit chauvinistic, but as a Senegalese, I believe we are at least as smart as everybody else, if not smarter, because we are able to achieve incredible things with very few means. So imagine we leverage that ultimate equalizer, right, Bamba? Technology, to be on the same level. That is why the Senegalese Network for Success exists, and that is why JokkoHub exists. I'm really, really proud of this platform. I'll tell you up front, it is not perfect. Right? It is still work in progress. But for this platform, we're going to leverage that collective capital we have to make it better. I always tell the folks, LinkedIn, when it first started, it is not what it is today. Facebook, when it first started, is not what it is today. So we're going to grow together. We're going to empower growth through opportunity. So those of us who've actually gained this experience, who've made successful careers, I think it is a duty for us to help the younger generation. And that's all it's about. We want to be able to support innovation and entrepreneurship. Going back to Chandler's points, most of us are not very wealthy, especially when you compare us to American wealth. But if we as a diaspora have been able to send almost $3 billion every year to folks back home, imagine what we would be able to achieve if we just put a small portion of that investment towards our own personal growth. And overall, we just want to build a brighter future for all of us. So why not just do that on LinkedIn, right? Because it exists. And we're not really inventing anything that hasn't been invented before. But the reality is that LinkedIn was never made for us. So what we need is a platform for us and by us. This whole platform was designed with our collective brain power. Everybody that shows up on a weekly basis has given their insight, their input. And we're very proud to introduce JokkoHub. So again, these are the things you'll be able to do on JokkoHub. Professional networking. So you'll be able to connect to professionals based on your interests and learn from them. You'll have access to mentors, and this is really dear to my heart. Those of us who've walked the path, who look like you, who know your reality, will be able to provide that mentorship to you to guide you for success. Because if one of us is successful, all of us are successful. We want to be able to support entrepreneurship, because that is the future. Not all of us can just work for the government, right? We have to create wealth and opportunity. Then when you think about back home, all the major industries, all the large companies, they're held by foreigners. That needs to change. We will do crowdfunding. And I'm going to expand a little bit on this because this is a really big deal. So imagine what the job market looks like back home. It's not great, right? But if a group of students came up with a great idea for a startup, and they used our platform, JokkoHub, to pitch that idea to all of us, and then we decide to give $10, $20, $30, $100, we would be able to create startups, many startups, every month. Imagine at scale how much of a difference that could make. We want to be able to connect businesses so they grow, they learn from each other, they create that marketplace where all of us can actually benefit. Sharif is going to switch the slides, and I'm just going to walk you through what JokkoHub actually is about. So this is the landing page, and this is where we actually try to make our sales pitch. So again, our goal is to empower Senegalese professionals to connect, to grow and lead, and we want to do that together. And this is at the essence of what our organization is about. So why JokkoHub? So again, this is a platform that is built for and by us. We want to build authentic connections. And they're authentic because this is for people who share that same history. We want to provide mentorship that empowers. We want you to have skills that will accelerate your success. And we want to provide funding with trust. Our mission, I think Wally put it perfectly. I don't think I need to expand on that. But unity and growth. And this is one of the events we had in New York City several months ago. We want to be able to do many of these, whether virtually or in person. This is what the profile would look like. And I want to encourage everyone to take this very seriously, because ultimately what we want to do is to build the largest repository of Senegalese professionals in the world. So this is as detailed as my LinkedIn profile, and you will be able to access profiles like these with their whole background, their skills, and you'll be able to connect to people like this. Your Excellency, for something like this, let's say the Senegalese government was looking for some type of expertise. They would be able to find that on JokkoHub. So that is extremely important to us as well. So this is the news feed. So very similar to what you would see on Facebook, on LinkedIn, but we would be sharing information that is relevant to us. The problem with LinkedIn is that your posts, they get drowned by the whole of everything, right? And I really want to focus on this post by Wali just a few weeks ago. So Baidi was in Senegal, and he was able to, he was participating in the Next 10 Summit, and he gave us a plug. But this is important because events like this always grow our community. After that, you see that Wali, when he took a trip to Dubai, he took that opportunity to start a chapter in Dubai. We share posts that are of use to the community. So Umar, our executive director, has posted this article about the debt dilemma that we have in Senegal. You have the opportunity to create individual profiles, business profiles, and organizational profiles. And I still haven't totally completed my profile, but I will. But it will tell you how close you are to providing that relevant information. Courses. This is extremely important to us. So ultimately, we want to serve as a platform that helps you grow professionally. So we will have classes online that will be available at no charge to you guys. We'll have classes on project management, data analytics. So whatever we believe that will benefit our community, we will have here. This is mentorship. Really, really dear to our hearts. This is the page for mentorship. You can find a mentor based on your industry. You can become a mentor. But why is mentorship important? And why is it important for the Senegalese Network for Success? You will be able to get one-on-one mentorship. They will guide your growth. They will tailor that mentorship for your particular need, and they will have that personalized support for your success. Because again, the success for each of us is success for all of us. And mentorship matters because we grow as a community. To sign up as a mentor is very easy. You just fill out this form, send it to us, and we'll create that mentorship profile for you. So if there is one thing I have to ask today is that if you have anything that you feel like you should be able to give back to the younger generation, by all means, register on JokkoHub and provide that information so we can leverage that experience you have. Crowdfunding. So I was just mentioning that earlier. So we only have a sample campaign here. I'm going to expand a little bit on this. The idea is to really create opportunities, especially for our younger generations. We are a nonprofit. We are not trying to make any money. None of us is being paid. As a matter of fact, everything we've been able to achieve to date has been from contributions of the members. And I could not thank everyone enough for not only investing their time, but also investing their knowledge and their resources to JokkoHub and the Senegalese Network for Success. So say a group of 5 students who just graduated from the university in Dakar have an idea, but they're lacking funding. So this is where they will create a campaign, and they will be able to do that at no charge. They'll create a campaign, they'll pitch that business idea to the community, and then we will open it for contributions. And when I tell you that you can contribute any amount you want as a donation, because again, none of us is trying to make money. But imagine if we could commit to have ultimately 10,000 people who would donate $10,000, $20,000 a month. I mean, $10, $20 a month. that would be too much. But $10, $20 a month, 10,000 people. How many small companies do you think we would be able to create for that young generation? So instead of them entering that very uncertain job market, they would actually be able to create opportunities for themselves. And this is the way it would work. So we're not going to just publish any idea to the community. So there will be a vetting that will be done by SNS to highlight those projects that have a potential for real impact. And when that internal committee decides that this is a project that is worthy of being published, it will be published. And the community will have the opportunity to invest. And I say invest because that may be the right term, but the only return of that investment, on that investment we're expecting, is for those young people to become successful. But we're not just going to give them money. We're actually going to pool that intellectual capital, that knowledge, to guide them. The way it would work is that SNS would have a small ownership of any company we create. And if there are any profits, they get put right back in the community. And this is what that would allow us to do. I talked earlier about how those young Senegalese students who just graduated did not have even an opportunity for internship. That money we would make would be put right back into the community. And if we're able to make a difference in just 1 or 2 students' lives by not only providing internship, but ultimately by hiring them, because we have the ability to hire in this country, that would be successful to me. So this is something that really, really is important to the organization. Now, joining JokkoHub will always be free, right? We have some tiered memberships that for those who want to support SNS, they can. So, and it's very affordable. $40 a year will make you an ambassador member. An ambassador member is just someone who wants to do a little bit more to support the organization. $40 a year, that's all we're asking. For businesses, they can sign up for that elite membership, which again is only $100 a year. $100 a year. That will go to making such a big difference for many of us. So if you go on JokkoHub and you feel inclined to help, by all means, we will take $5, we will take $10. It's up to you. But the reality is that in order for us to achieve what we want to achieve, we know we'll need the support of the community. And I have no doubt that you'll be able to do so. Everything we do is secured. Your information is secured. We're not trying to send it to anybody. So rest assured that we've taken all the precautions to make sure that happens. So that is JokkoHub in a nutshell. Something we're really, really proud of. And we hope that you join us by creating your profiles, and that if you are so inclined, that you will support our organization. So I want to thank you. So we're just going to have a small break, have lunch, and then we'll have a panel where some of us will be joining. We'll answer some questions from the audience. So please don't go.
Hey, hello. One more time. Hello. That was to tell you that the break is over. Okay. We have Musa going to introduce the panel discussions. Musa?
Yes, so we're just going to invite a few members of the steering committee to share some thoughts and answer some questions. So Hadi Njai, I'd like to invite you on stage. Hussein, if you would mind joining us. Iba Kamara. And Baidi, if you're still here.
We are Senegal. So,
for the people, just go give up.
Right, so this is your opportunity to ask questions to SNS if there is anything that you may need some additional details on. But what I'd like to do first is to just ask some additional questions about people's backgrounds and their visions. So first, Iba, if you don't mind. The question I have for you is that, so you chose a career path that is a little bit unusual for a Senegalese person. You are a police officer. Can you talk about what motivated you to choose that career path and what has been your experience?
Thank you so much for that, Musa. So, as I said, obviously, I'm from Senegal. I grew up there, and I had the opportunity to come to America back in 2011. And it's funny enough, same thing as Sharif, same thing as Sidi. You know, we all came here because of basketball. And it was a great opportunity, obviously. All of us growing up in Senegal, we know how hard it is. Like, it's a struggle, you know. I remember playing basketball without having, you know, proper shoes, or the shoes having like holes in them and putting like some cardboards in it and stuff like that. It was a real struggle. So when I had the opportunity to come to America, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to figure out a way to give back to the community. Like, I don't know how that's going to be and what it's going to be, but I'll figure out a way to do that. And you know, I was very lucky. I went to a great school, and I had people that helped me. I was able to also like just get another scholarship to go to college. I went to the University of New Hampshire, where I graduated in 2018. It's okay. But I graduated in 2018, and there, what I noticed was that, you know, we would get like 3 pairs of basketball shoes like every season, and I would only use 1. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll collect these basketball shoes every end of season and just like send it to Senegal. So I was able to collect the basketball shoes from the men and the women. And at that first year, I had about 60 shoes, and I made a GoFundMe page. And first year, I actually got about like $3,000 first year. So it was amazing. I mean, and this is like not a non-profit organization or anything like that. So it was like raw, just like, you know, trying to post it and just promote it, and it was amazing. So I was able to go home and help out, you know, invited about 60 kids, and everybody has shoes, basketballs, you know, and shirts and all that jazz, you know. And that's the amazing thing about me and Sharif and CD. See, you mind standing up real quick? Stand up real quick, man. Give this man a round of applause. You know, he does the same thing as well, and it's just amazing to see that, you know, we got a lot of young people, you know, just like, you know, inspired to help and you know, just like, you know, make our community a better place. So after I graduated college, I was doing that, and then I got the opportunity to go overseas. I was in Europe, I was in Switzerland, France. I played basketball for a little bit. Got injured. I was like, man, I got to figure out a way to just kind of like keep going. What do I do next? So I came back to America, and I was like, since I'm doing this and I love helping my community and serving, what can I do? And I was like, maybe being a police officer might be one of the ways to just kind of like, you know, help serve, protect, and provide, you know, for our community. And I decided to do that, and obviously it's been great. It's been amazing. It's been a learning journey, and it's been just great to see that, you know, I'm able to bridge the gap between, you know, the community and the police, because there's a big disconnect, and that has been, you know, tremendous. And I have been able to go on TikTok and just kind of like share my ideas to people and just trying to help them out. So
thank you so much, Iba. And I'll say Iba is maybe a little too modest, because this is someone who has close to 300,000 followers on TikTok. And I was lucky enough to watch one of his live streams, and he takes the time to actually answer questions, especially young immigrants who just came to the country may have for him. And that guidance and that help you provide, it is extremely valuable to our community. So thank you for that. My next question is to Hadi. You know, Hadi, when we were envisioning what SNS was going to be about, there was a real push on your part to make sure that we took personal development into account. Not just professional development, but personal development. But what is the motivation behind that?
I think our culture doesn't really emphasize mental health and talking about your problems. It's more like you suck it up and then just deal with it. But I think it's important that we have an outlet for people to talk about their problems, have somebody who can relate, somebody who can help them, because we don't have therapists. And I'm thinking, when I do go back, I think we should have that. And we should, hi, you want to say hello? Sorry. I think it's very important. You know, I believe that if you have stress in your life, it damages you in ways you can't realize. I have a lot of friends. I'm very focused on community and helping people and talking to people. And I realize that a lot of people don't have that outlet where they can go to somebody and talk about their problems in a way that's safe and useful. So that's something that's very dear to me.
Absolutely, and truly appreciate that, Hadi. And if I were to offer testimony, this is something I've struggled with myself. I was in the army, I was deployed, spent 15 months in Iraq, straight. And when I came back, I had demons that I had to deal with. And seeking help, especially from a therapist, was not something I could ever consider. And there were consequences for that. So if through this platform, through this organization, we're able to provide that as well, I think it'll just be beneficial to anyone. We have to develop the whole person, right? Not just professionally, but personally as well, because they go together. So truly appreciate that. And Baidi, so you recently participated in the Next 10 Summit. Could you tell us what that was about and how, in some way, that links to what we do here at SNS?
Yes, thank you again for inviting me to this panel. So, Next 10 is an initiative that was done by Senegalese people for Senegalese people. So the major contributors there were Prime Dash by Modusila and Axel, owned by Aliumbai. So the idea is to have basically a roadmap for the 10 years to come to actually put Senegal as a hub for digitalization and allow the country to build the infrastructure that is needed in order to take full advantage of the advancement of technologies like AI. But the other thing during the Next 10 that was very, very aligned with what we're trying to do is taking full advantage of the circular economy, right? So you presented the idea of actually funding people through community funding, right? So the second day of the Next 10, what we had there was a blockchain technology. As you guys know, blockchain technology can be leveraged to create basically portfolios and projects that everybody can contribute in. And the power of blockchain is transparency. So there was a project exactly like what you were presenting that actually is how can we fund small entrepreneurs by creating a very, safe platform where people can just put their 10 cents or $1,000 on blockchain, and that can be open to the whole world to actually participate. So that's the connection I have. This was more Africa need to be on board, but how can we get there? Is first thing. how can we, there was also some panels in there that were mainly workforce development. We had University Check and UGC, Gaston Berger, they were there also, that generation that will take on the stuff. They pitched their projects, 60 projects were pitched during that, just one day. And we try to do our best to actually get it. So the connection here is we're building a community that could help not only, what is that called, implement technology, but in a way where we can actually help have universities, local entrepreneurs contribute and stuff. So the connection is basically a community-based stuff. So next time was very, very interesting and very powerful. I think there's a lot of things we can do together with them.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to getting those lessons learned applied for an organization as well. Ousseynou Badiane, I did not have a chance to actually introduce you earlier, so I'll give you an opportunity to do that first before I go with my question. Ousseynou.
And the reason why is I did not do my homework, so that's all me. So Ousseynou Badiane, born in Saloum, moved to France where I spent most of my life. Graduated as an electrical engineer. Worked almost a decade back in energy production, mainly nuclear. And from there I decided to have a career change. So I did an MBA and a Master in Finance that drove me here. And it has been like 4 years now that I'm working for a private equity, covering North America and South America on, energy infrastructure, looking at healthcare, very innovative startups around recycling. So covering many different sectors, and and very happy and emotional to be here with you guys.
Thank you so much for saying. So the question I have for you is something that actually goes to the heart of what we're trying to achieve as an organization. So mentorship, right? While you were coming up in your career, did you have mentors that you looked up to, or did you have to figure it out yourself?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Generally, you have mentor within your supporting system, right? Generally, it's your family or people in your family. But I think that structure has a lot of limits, and when you go by yourself within, I think, different geographies, I get a chance to travel, and I got a chance to be around different businesses, and then you quickly feel alone, unguided, and you have to figure it out by yourself. It's a good skill set, require a lot of adaptability, but you cannot do it by yourself. I'm a firm believer that you cannot go far by yourself in a support system. And you have to strategically build that in a big way in order to get to whatever goals you have, whatever paradigm you have. And I think it's a smart move to figure that out strategically. So what I've done is reach out to people. I'm a little bit of an introvert, so it was more of a challenge for me, but I think it's essential to go reach out to people, and you're gonna quickly discover that people are really open to help. And it's not rocket science. You go and let them guide you through the process, and I hope that's something that we're going to facilitate with JokkoHub and within our community. And when you set up those links and you have that support system, which is dynamic too, because more you go, more you need to refresh as well that, mentorship kind of mentor circles. And then they're gonna, I think, crazily help you to reach your goal. But what I try to say, and I think I heard it someone said, is you just need to take time to think about it, and you need to at least do the homework of knowing what you want and people who can support you. And you go out there and you will see that a lot of people are ready to lift you. So
Thank you, Senator. And I can also witness to that. So I've had mentors through my career. Most of them were people I've worked with in the Army. And you build those relationships very early on. And then out of the blue, you would just get an email saying, hey, we have this position that you may be interested in. And they send you a link to apply, and then they make the process very easy. So imagine if all of us in our respective fields were able to provide those opportunities. So Bamba was mentioning something very similar earlier. And this is what this network is built for. We want to be able to really, really help each other so we're all successful. So with that being said, I would like to open it for questions from the audience. If you have any thoughts, it doesn't have to be a question, but just any statement that you'd like to make, by all means, let me know and I'll pass the mic to you and we'll be happy to answer. Anybody, don't be shy.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. I think I will ask like general questions. Will be, I know the gathering is like a kind of good thing. The website, try to networking, but what other way we can do to kind of get the information to the Senegalese? Because I can see myself in a lot of story from Wally and all of the guys. The first thing when I came here, I know I didn't have that much experience, but I have my degrees. And maybe the first place that a lot of people recommend me to go was the Senegalese Association. I went there, but I would say mostly I got discouraged to not, get like a job in the US or pursuing like my education. Because they will make you believe, oh, if you have a bachelor, you have to be doing a bachelor. If you have a master, you have to do another bachelor. And like I think Bajan says, sometimes you have to figure out yourself. And I will maybe ask like a general question, how can we do to get the information to those who really need it? Because sometimes a lot of people, you just came here, you have a background. You can do a lot of things. Either you have to go back to school, you have to, go through like a retraining and anything. But a lot of Senegalese, they got discouraged because they don't have the right information. So beside the website, the gathering, what else can we do? Like, for example, in New York, if you ask somebody, they will say, oh, I know a guy, he lives in Jersey, I have to travel with, my cousin to go to Jersey to just have like the right information about how to feel like a college admission. And the guy I was coming in Senegal. I already have my master's, but he was telling me, oh, you have to apply for a bachelor, and that was not the right thing. I knew it myself. I didn't want to apply for that, and I figured out myself to apply for like maybe to do like another master, and I just did it. So I will just like a general question. How can we do to? And I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Mohammed, and I currently work as a grant accountant. I graduated also from Bank College. Thank you.
You want to take that question?
So this is actually a typical case that I've seen over and over and over. So the lack of information or the lack of sources to go to in order to have the right information, but also the type of community where you land it has a lot of impact in how do you get there. So as a lot of people, if you're in the DMV area, I think that's what I've been trying to solve. I think the first thing we have to do, you asking how do we solve that problem. So first thing is, just like we're doing now, leveraging content creators like this guy here, right next to me, and making sure that we get that message out there, right? So social media is huge. And I think we should leverage that. The other thing is making sure the representative of the government of Senegal, like embassies and stuff, they are fully engaged with the community locally, because I think that's a big gap, and I'm hoping we can solve that. We have Senegalese Day, we have all kind of events that are happening. We have religious groups that are in here. Just make sure at least one of members of those entities is fully dedicated to making sure the information reach the community, because we don't do a good job in doing that. The other thing is maybe leverage local back home. Make sure we have some ways that when somebody decides I'm going to the United States, there is some part of platform where they can go to at least get some information and stuff, how to do it. In regards to education, for example, how do I take my master's degree or whatever I got from Senegal and build a professional career or convert to a new career? That's another big problem that a lot of people, they either don't have the information or they don't give you the right guidance. So I think the best way to do it is also having a platform where people that are in that domain can reach out to people, or having mentorship programs just like what we're building here, or training program where we can tell people, hey, you know what, you actually studied this, but that doesn't mean you stuck with it, right? You don't even have to have a college degree in order to actually get into it. Probably we can get you, while you're working on the college admission, we can get you trained into a field like maybe IT, right? We can start with maybe something simple like help desk support or networking or something. And then once you get that, you can, go to college. And the other thing is transitioning to college from Senegal in the United States is not that difficult, right? You take those transcripts, you take it to world education system, you already did like half of the work. Now you just have to find a way to fund your education. I think that's information, the channels, the right channels to get the information to the people is the solution.
Also, I have to ask you a question. What's your name again? Mohammed. So I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. So when you came here, have you had the chance to talk to people out here in network?
Yes, I did.
Yes. So and that's just like a specific example that I'm giving. But the thing is, these gatherings are actually networking, right? Like we tend to go to these type of events and we just like keep to ourselves, right? I'm just trying to be, I'm Eva, I'm trying to be cool. I'm just gonna sit on my corner and just, come and sit, eat, drink, listen, and then I'm out of here, But it's very to connect, man. Talk to the person next to you. Like, go out there, expose yourself. Otherwise, nobody gonna know you or your or the thing that you have to offer. Because the true and the reality is that this world, man, is a competition. Everybody's competing to get the best job, to get the best, pay and everything. So, what are you offering for people to come to you and say, hey, you know what? I got a job for you. Like, you cannot just be a good looking like me and just get a job. It doesn't work like that. You gotta get out there, man, work and network, right? It's very important, and it starts right here. Just talking to people and so.
Can I add something? Yes. I think also you need to have the right information, and what we'll do is we'll do some how-to guides on what you're talking about. So we'll have that on the website, so you can have that. And then if you want something specific, you can reach out to us, and then we'll come and help.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure, but I think you kind of missed the question. I think the first one answered the tourism. I'm not talking about really myself. I'm talking about how we can get information. Yeah. Like doing collaboration with the embassy, or doing collaboration with the consulate. Because when you first came to the US, those are mostly the Senegalese Association, or our community like the Massive. Those are the first maybe spot that we will go. Maybe like the first step you will go, and they will kind of guide you. But if they don't know about JokkoHub, how they can do that? You have to figure out yourself. I figured out myself to get to university. I figured out myself to graduate. And I figured out I didn't have like a mentor to get like right now like a job. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not thinking about that's the whole question. How to help the next generation.
Absolutely, and this is what we're trying to achieve. We won't be able to do it just by ourselves. We need everybody's help to do that. And
just kind of to
absolutely. Thank you for that.
My name is Sadie Sadiq Cisse, and I'm an ex-community engagement specialist now working as a longshoreman for the Port of New York, New Jersey. So my question is, one, what does success look like out of this program for you all personally? and then all as a collective, and then also, what I've come to realize about, organizations like this is that you'll get the momentum in the beginning, but then, that momentum starts to decline. So for you all up here, now, because this is a beautiful project, and I love seeing all of the Senegalese faces here that all are thinking in the same way. So how do you maintain that momentum, in starting something new, to see it through in regards to making sure you actually reach that success that you want to see personally and as a collective?
We ask ourselves that question, and they'll take that.
Oh, okay. So, and this is like a fantastic question, and it goes to the heart of what drives these organizations. It's one thing to get started. Getting started is difficult, right? Because this is not a novel idea. A lot of people have probably thought about it. I was part of a LinkedIn group. It is called the Senegalese Professionals Network. So very similar to what we have. It has 18,000 members, but it became just a group for spam posts. No one is following through. No one is doing anything. That's what we don't want to do. We have our own limitations, right? This is why having the community be involved is key. We know we're not going to be able to do it ourselves. We'll do everything we can in terms of outreach, in terms of just marketing our vision and everything, but if people don't buy into it, we will just end up like all the other organizations, and it would be a shame, honestly, if we got to that point. Now, what does success look like for us? Very simple. We want to see growth for our community. We want our people to start exploring opportunities that they never considered before. I work in government, for example. I haven't seen a single Senegalese company that does government contracting. It's millions of dollars that can be made. It's very easy to start your own LLC and start bidding on government contracts. I always tell this story about this engineer. He graduated from Purdue. He was making these balloons, like surveillance balloons, out of his garage. He didn't have a job. He was being supported by his wife, who was a teacher. He was desperately trying to get government contracts. Overnight, from working from his garage, he was awarded a $36 million contract. Just like that. Because he used his brain power, he used his skills, and to him, there was no limit. $36 million overnight. I think we can have many stories like that for our community. And for someone like me who's been dealing in government contracts, the good thing about this network is that if that is what you want to pursue, someone like me will be able to guide you through that process. How to set up your business, how to write proposals, how to win proposals. I'm on the other side. I can't, bid on government contracts. But I'm one who actually does the technical inspections and assessments of those government proposals. I'll be able to do something like that for you at no charge, because I want us to be successful. I've seen Nigerian Americans, Ethiopian Americans, all the other communities just winning these big contracts. Nobody that looks like us. So we want to change that, and that would be success for us.
And I want to piggyback on that too. I think we're creating a momentum here, and I don't know how many times we have discussed this. The main question that we have asked ourselves is, what's our value proposition, right? And I think what we're trying to do here is to create value for everyone, right? Individually and as a community. So I think the success of this organization is lying on our ability, all of us, to create that value, right? So when people identify us as, somewhere where they can find value. They have the intimate conviction that people will, be part of it and be very active. So, as a call of action, for all of us, including all of us in this room, trying to be, as active as possible and get something in mind is, you have to take value from it and create value for the community as well.
How you doing? My name is the Prince, from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised, Senegalese parents. Account executive for telecommunications, been doing it for 12 years, so people who didn't know what I'm doing, that's what I do though. All right, so my thing is not even a question. My thing is basically saying I love what's going on, especially in the community. We don't get to have these opportunities, so for all of us to come out and, come and listen to our brothers and sisters who are in the professional world and those who are entrepreneurs, this is the best time to network and connect, with one another by getting to touch one another. Because, majority of the times we're on our phones, we're behind our computers, we're behind our Instagrams, looking at somebody, but we don't know who that person really is, how important that person is, and what do they do for a living. And probably that person can help you get to the next level just by a simple connection, a simple introduction. Hey, my name is, what's your name? Nice to meet you. What do you do for a living? Those are basic questions that can open doors. It's not just being prideful. It's not just being, I'm going to sit in my corner and look cool, just like the brother Iba said. Because being cool doesn't pay the bills, 1,000%. Looking pretty doesn't pay the bills. Knowledge, going out there, working hard, leveraging off your knowledge and your education and your team. What I usually tell people every day is, a lot of these people, you see corporate America, and you say, oh, it's not fair, this white boy graduated, but they're gonna take him because he's white, and I'm Senegalese. You're lacking self-belief in yourself. What if you went and get to know the CEO or the VP, just as our older brother said? He said it straight like that. I went on and I typed out why you should hire me, meaning selling yourself, not devaluing yourself. You have a certain knowledge in you that you know for sure. Once the world explores it, it can be able to be beneficial financially, psychologically, and physically, because now you can elevate yourself and get to the next level in life. And once you get to the next level in life, you can bring somebody with you. So, for example, I love this platform, the JokkoHub, that you guys are implementing for our brothers and sisters, because it's given us a platform now not to go through LinkedIn and search for Senegalese brothers who are in the field. Because let's be honest, Senegalese people love to be around Senegalese people. They feel more comfortable being around Senegalese people, right? That's why we're all here. It's like the Mexican loves being around the Mexican. The Jewish guy wants to be more comfortable around the Jewish guy than asking the black guy. Why? Because we're all around our comfort zone. So this is the moment that we have to take advantage of and take this platform to the next level. You know what I mean? Like this gentleman said, I came from Senegal, I got my master's degree, I got my bachelor's, but I went to the wrong people and they gave me the wrong information. Now he can go to Jokko, type in, hey, my name is such and such, I came from Senegal, I have this level of education, how can I be able to get into the doors of corporate America? This is what I learned. Who can help me? And somebody can be able to reach out to this brother and say, hey, nice to meet you. I work in this field, I did study what you study. This is the platform, this is the pathway I took to do this. Now, this gentleman can say, okay, I'll follow through, or I'll stay stagnant and go do something else. So people, please, as much as we're all here, get to know one another. Get to know. This is not just one of these, whatever they call that, platforms that just, oh, let's put each other together and dress nice and look at each other and just go home. No. Make a friend, meet a friend. Exchange information with another. Take their number, take their Instagram, be their friend for real. Because tomorrow you never know. I always tell this, tomorrow you never know. You're going to meet somebody and you're going to be like, dang, I met a guy named Iba. Oh, I met Mr. Nyah, he was in the army. I didn't get his information. Now you're searching everywhere to get his information. You're calling left and right, you can't reach him, while you had the opportunity to meet him front and face and take his information down. And guess what? Once he remembers you and you are trying to get to the army, it's an easy route to get inside. Because what? He he met you in real life. This is what a lot of these white folks are doing. This is what they're doing, to be honest with you. And I worked in corporate America. And you know what someone told me? When I wanted to get hired, they said, LaPrince, you got everything right. Got all the accolades, but who can vouch for you? Who knows you? If nobody knows you and nobody can vouch for you, they're not gonna hire you. People love to hire people they know. I promise you. Any job you get, it doesn't matter if it's entry level, seniority level, they're going to teach you because you're going to have trainings in that field and you're going to learn how to do this. So to my brothers and Senegalese sisters here, I just want to say one thing. I love y'all. I'm proud of each and every one of y'all for attending this. Shout out to my brother Sharif. You know what I mean? Me and him worked a lot. And let's just collaborate more, get to know one another, and let's grow. Growth is key, and I believe that with our intelligence, we can make this.
So we want to give everyone the opportunity to actually network, so there may be some additional questions. Okay, all right, let's get going.
Maybe we're going to take 2 to 3 more questions and give people the opportunity to know one another, network, and find bridges.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. My name is Yusuf Jam. I'm a civil engineering graduate from City College, specialized in structural. So, like the previous question from his brother here, so I just want to ask
Is your mic on?
Yeah, I think it's on though. Okay, so that's the reason I raised. I just want to ask something like related to the previous question that was asked here. So, I mean, okay, it's not a question, but kind of like a contribution. So, for example, the support he was talking about, you know, when you come, you want to get the information and things. So I want to, because I heard, like, I listened to you when you talk about like the crowdfunding, supporting, for example, let's say, like a group of like students from Senegal, they have a project, like idea, they want to get something, so we can, you know, get connected to them, support them, create like a startup, right? So for example, I mean, each of us here, they might know someone who come like in here to study, for example, like with the international visa. But you know, when they come here, life is really tough. They couldn't continue their education, and they end up doing something, you know, regular job kind of. So I just want to say, like those kind of like crowdfunding. You know, think about those who, of course, they have to get the information, the existence of this network, but also how we can support those people, you know, who come with a really brilliant idea, want to do the education continue and then grow. If they get stuck, how we can help them, support them for the current projects. So that's what I would contribute.
No, and that is at the essence of what we're trying to do. So fully appreciate that.
Hey everyone, I'm Sharif Kasey. I graduated from Penn State with a bachelor's of mechanical engineering, currently working for Procter & Gamble as a project engineer, project manager, whatever you want to call it. So I have a question for you guys. I'm a little bit of an advocate for college students because I was myself one. What are your plans to promote this kind of platform or even advertising for college students? Because I know so many of my peers are actually looking for internships, and it was so hard. Like, it was extremely hard to get internships. And you know how today's market is. In order for you to get a job, you need some kind of referral or some kind of internship to be accepted in that position. And also, I don't know, maybe you guys should also focus a little bit on the high school students or like the upcoming college students, because I myself was one. I was studying in Senegal. I got my BFM from there. It was in a Senegalese American bilingual school. So I did 2 years there and came here and finished my high school diploma. But it was so hard for me to get some kind of mentors, you know. I play basketball too, you know. So with all of that in mind,
I'll still take you one-on-one.
No, I got you. So yeah, so I was just begging all the time to get some kind of mentorship. Also, so like some mentors who were from Senegal, you know, some people that I could relate to, some people that had the same background as me. And I honestly didn't have that, so it was very hard for me, but with God's help, everything was fine. So that was my question for you guys. And thank you for Wally for inviting me here. It was a pleasure.
No, you bring up some super important points, and that's what we're trying to achieve. We're not going to be able to do it alone. We'll need everybody's support. So, yes.
I was just gonna say, we need people like you. Like, we need people like you who have gone through this, the struggle and know actually what these people really need to help out. And that's why we're here, obviously, just trying to help out. So obviously we would love to have anybody here that has anything to offer to help us, to that direction and help out these people. So
Code, whatever you know now you know how to dissect it down to simplify because of your errors that you've been through. So when folks ask you a question, you can go and tell them, hey, do this and this and this the right way.
Yeah, so I think that the solution is this: how do we promote it, right? So what I've tried to do, right, is through these associations again. I think we have so many of these associations that actually they created Tijania here and there. What I try to do in the Washington DC area is literally went to the president of the association and say, hey, here I am, and I'm offering a cybersecurity course for this summer, and make sure any students that is interested can come and learn, and it's free. And I use that platform also to actually tell them, you know what, if there is anybody that comes in here and asks you questions about how do I get to college or how do I transition as a professional from here to here, please send them my way. And what I've seen, I think my wife can attest to that. She I get these calls, random calls, all the time, right? To try to answer those questions. But how can we help now get internship? I think that's the heavy lift that Bamba and all the guys that are in certain positions can actually vet into their companies. Because I work for IBM, I'm working for a fintech company now that has some professional development programs. Management programs that they take from high schoolers, even high schoolers, they get you tech development programs. Now, how can we go in there and say, hey, you know what, we have a community that is built a platform, and we're trying to at least get 15 students from our community, just give us a quarter. If it's 10 students, if it's 5 students, if we do that across board with everybody that works from different companies, we probably will end up having like hundreds of spots open for us. So each summer, we tell them, hey, go ahead and enroll for this company, and then we'll do the rest of the work in the background. I think that's the best strategy to get internship. But the other part is each one individually in your company. If you see internship, make sure you reach out to to whoever it is, the high schooler or the college student, and get them to apply for it. And then, do whatever you have to do to see if they can get in there. The other thing is get in the mindset of telling people to apply for internship while they're in college. What I've noticed, I've seen parents reach out to me when the student is finishing, you're on your last year. You should have been doing the first year of college, right? So I've seen, I can count like 10 or 20 parents that reach out to me almost every year for the same question: how can I get an internship for my child who just finished college? I'm like, why wait this late? Because companies don't hire you just because you have a degree. They hire you because they can't, like he said, because somebody can vet for you. How can you get that vetting from a company? How can a company trust you if they've never really been part of the whole internship program? So when you start, that's when you start building a relationship with the company. When you finish, they pick you. So I think that's the stuff. We need to really have a strategy on how we get, companies to give us spots. And then once we do that individually, each one of us need to actually vet for the Senegalese students so they can get those spots for internships.
One other way that we can do this is also, for example, the company I work for, we tend to go visit universities. Remember that time at George Floyd where everybody was trying to hire black people? So people started to go to these colleges and then to get black resumes so they can meet their quotas. It has changed a little bit. Now it has shifted in a place where we're really trying to look for talent in all different areas. So imagine if JokkoHub could build this. So I can bring recruiters here, for example, for an event like that, and people collect resumes and they talk to people. So each one of us in our companies can help do that. But for that to work, though, everybody needs to lean in, and so that they can see the masses. And they're like, this is what's going. So they can do that if we help them show up. And then we can run all of those things.
Thank you, Bamba. So we're just going to take maybe one. So 2 more questions. Yep.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Nyaga. I'm a recent graduate from Michigan State University, where I currently work at AWS as a back-end software engineer. So I just had a couple of thoughts when it comes to internships and getting experience, because the main problem is you need experience to get an internship, but if you can't get an internship, you can't get experience. So I feel like one of the ways that you can kind of solve or remediate that problem is by kind of offering experience. For example, the website that I saw, I came a bit later into the meeting, so I couldn't see the full UI experience. But I feel like, for example, I'm in tech, so I'd be really interested to contribute to the website myself. Or I don't know if we can have workshops where we go to the schools that have a good Senegalese population, gather some kids, and then anybody that's interested in tech or software engineering, you have one that has experience in that, and then other people could follow, and then they can have something that they can not only contribute to that they care about, but also put it on their resume, and then have an accredited website that recruiters or people that give the jobs out could go and see and see the impact that they have. It's a bit better than a side project, because for me, I didn't have any internship experience when it comes to AWS, so I had a lot of personal projects and stuff like that. But even outside of tech, for example, finance, I have a lot of friends in finance. I don't know if there's a way where we could have kids kind of just shadow the people that manage the money that you guys get in terms of donations, and then just have them have the excuse to put something on the resume. And then alongside that, another feature could be having an anonymous, kind of a Reddit forum page, where, because I remember one of the brothers, he said where do people go when they want information? So one of the things that they could do is go on the website and I don't know, just imagine a forum tab where they can just ask a question and somebody can answer if they're able to. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
So, first I want just to add a little bit on what my brother said here. So, everybody here, they have their own background on how did they get to US and how they were able to get the job that they do, right? And from you guys, we need everyone to join us. It depends on exactly how is your schedule. If you can join us as a student member, fine. If not, you can sign up and be part of the website. But most importantly, we need a team. We need someone like you. Bamba is here also. So that's what I'm wanting to add on that. I encourage everybody to join us, be part of what we're building. If you don't know, you can learn. My guys, he can tell you about that. We learn from those who does marketing. And when it comes to program or project, around the side here, you know what I mean? So basically, we encourage everybody not to be just watching what we're building. Join us, add it on your portfolio, and then, talk. If you don't know something, you should learn from everybody, you know what I mean? So I'm just encouraging everybody. Doesn't matter what you do, we need you. We need your idea, because we know how to take those ideas and turn them into reality. You know what I mean? So, but if you just sit and then watch what this guy building, you might not have anybody. I came here as a high schooler, so I've been through all the steps. You know what I mean? But I didn't have the right people to help me exactly how to get from here to here. Alhamdulillah, I was able to find everything myself, but I don't want my young brothers to go through the same situation that I've been through, you know what I mean? So now, if you're in high school, college, whatever the case may be, get close to us, talk to us. We will definitely, if you don't have the right answer, we'll look for someone who has the right answer to give you, so you can be part of what we're building, and you can add your, on your resume, side project or however. So I just wanted to add on that, because I know he came here as a high school, so we've been through that, so that's why I wanted to add that part of it.
So this will be the last question, unfortunately, because we have to vacate the premises before 4. but we really appreciate everyone's presence.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmed. I'm a software engineer at Microsoft as well, based in Baltimore, Maryland. Pleasure to meet all of you guys. It's really refreshing to see a large population of Senegalese doing good things as well. But I had a question pertaining to the crowdfunding on blockchain idea. I know, like, in theory, it's a very good idea because, like, inherently, the nature of smart contracts is immutable, so you can't tamper or change with it. But regarding to, like, the legislative buy-in, is there, like, the necessary buy-in from that side to get them to recognize those contracts as, like, legally binding in case of, like, disputes?
To be honest, I don't know the inside of it. I know there was a demo to actually that showed everything, right? So I think one thing about legislative, we were just talking about that. When it comes to Africa, there is a lot of work to be done in terms of the legal aspect of things, right? So I think what I can do is reach out to the guy that actually building that and get that information. But to personally, I'm not sure as far as the buying on that side.
So I think your question is on the crowdfunding module we have on JokkoHub, right?
Yeah.
Next thing. Okay.
Just the widespread adaptation of blockchain in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, so basically is the expert.
There's a lot of work to be done in Africa. In general, I think either in cybersecurity or any form, because I've seen companies that present product without having any knowledge in regard to what platform, what legal things they need to follow or regulations they need to follow in terms of that. Africa need to have that kind of expertise, and I think people like you or anybody that knows, for example, I know personally in cybersecurity, I feel like data privacy and security, especially data privacy legislations are being violated right and left. But it's up to us to build at least that momentum and talk to the entities that regulate that so we can have it in place.
Thank you. So before we close, I'd like to recognize one person I didn't get a chance to recognize earlier. Independa, could you come here, please? Yes, please.
Can I ask just one question?
Sure.
Just one question. Yeah. So as a nonprofit, do y'all issue tax documentation at the end of the year?
Absolutely.
So there's a tax benefit.
Yes. So every donation you make is tax deductible in the US. So Penda is coming to us all the way from Ohio. She flew in this morning, and she has been an instrumental part of this organization. She has been in our meetings on a weekly basis, and even when she's really busy, she always just sends her apologies that she's not able to participate. So I wanted to recognize you for making the effort, for being here, and for every contribution you've made this far. I'll give you the opportunity to present yourself.
Hi everybody. My name is Leipenda, and my background is civil engineering and construction management. Sharif, we talked on LinkedIn. Yeah, nice to meet you. But like everybody else, my main thing joining SNS was because I went through the process like everybody, no mentor. Had to figure out everything by myself. When Wally asked me to join, I told him I'm all good for it. Like, I wanna get the information out there, help my little sisters and brothers go through the process without having to struggle. So I'm happy to be here, happy to meet everybody. Thank you.
So the last thing I'll do is ask for some commitments, right? So I want everyone who's here today to commit to creating an account on JokkoHub. You don't have to select a paid membership, you really don't have to, but we want you to create those accounts because that's the only way we can grow. And then, once you create that account, share that information with everyone you know so we can grow as a community. If there is one thing you can do for us today after this event, it would be just that, because each one of you is an ambassador for this mission we have in common. I want to thank everyone for being here. I don't know, Wally, if you have any parting words, but it has been a pleasure hosting you. And we look forward to having many more of these events, inshallah, in the future.
I just want to thank everyone for taking the time. I know you're busy Saturday in the holiday season. People, especially you are going to be shopping, but they're here. So thank you everyone for coming, and we look forward to working with you. Every single one of you is part of what we're trying to build. And your support, your commitment, and you being around that will make this movement go along the way. So thank you again. Take the time to know people, network. We're gonna have like what, 30 minutes or 20 minutes about to network, get to know one another, and try to see bridges we can create. By all means, go for it.